Hello, year 8. This is Mr. Hinchliffe speaking, and I'm going to be doing the feedback for you as your class teacher. So I'm speaking to 8F and 8G here. So I hope you're all well. I'm looking forward for you to come back and for you to be back in the classroom, for me to teach you properly rather than remotely. This video is just going to talk you through the feedback for the assessment that you did before half term. Some excellent responses were provided, and so I'm just going to show you exactly what you need to do. So when you first load up the form, you're going to see this. This is what you'll see if you're using a computer. This is what you see if you see the mobile device. But the video will appear here, just like it did in the assessment. But also what we've done is added this feature is for you just to rate how clear the video was based on do you understand what you had to do. That is a required field as the asterisk is there. So just give it a star out of 5. Obviously, you're all going to give it 5. So first of all, just 5 low stakes questions to get you in the habit again. Always knowledge is power, as we know. So just a couple of questions. They're questions that you have done before previously, so there shouldn't be any surprises. So just check your knowledge again on the African-European relationship. Go through the questions. They are required fields, but please take your time just to read through the question carefully. Just to get through the next part of the form, I'm just going to select the first answer. But you would obviously take a little bit longer to do that, a few more minutes to do that. Okay, so the assessment was looking at the relationship between Africa and Europe. We asked you to provide a 2 sides of the argument, 2 petal paragraphs showing the positive and negative side. So this is just to remind you of the features. So you would have been returned, your form would have been returned to you with a Key Stage 3 level. So you can see exactly why it is you got that level. So if you got excelling, you produced petal paragraphs, you included multiple pieces of evidence, you linked back to the question, you used the factors, you talked about economic factors and whatnot. Same with secures as you go through. So do check that just to make sure you know exactly what it is you had to do. Was it well structured? Was it succinct? Was it concise? These are the things that I considered when I marked your assessment. When you look at your answer, you can always just look at this and pause the video if you ever want to read some of this. Just to be clear as well, the structure for the petal paragraph, that's the structure we were asking you to use, so you need to make sure that you're using it. And if you do your feedback, whatever your feedback happens to be, make sure you are using the sentence starters that we provide you for the petal. So if you've been asked to redo the point, make sure that you're using this term. The relationship between Africa and Europe had always been the same or has changed because, and again, I've asked some of you to include some historical factors. So because of economic reasons, because of political reasons, or cultural or social. For example, as the evidence, this meant that as a result. So if you've been asked to improve your explanation, make sure you're using these terms, and same with the link. Again, you might want to pause the video and take a photo just in case you need it when you're doing your feedback. Okay, so this is the main part of what you got to do. So obviously you did the assessment on form, so you might struggle to remember what you wrote, and it's a couple of weeks ago. So we've created a document in order to help you with that. So what you'll see here is a list of instructions that you have to do. Number 1 is to watch this video. So don't attempt the task without watching this video, because then you won't know what to do. So make sure you watch the instructional video, and this video will be no more than 5 to 6 minutes long or so. Then what you need to do is you've got the feedback document. So you've got 8F here and you've got 8G. Now these links go directly to your SharePoint that you can access on the system for history. So you can access this whenever you want. You've got complete access to that as a year 8 year group. And here you will find the feedback. Now when you do the task, you're going to write the task in the box here. So complete the feedback task. Some of you, this won't be a lot. Some of you will do a little bit more. As you can see, that's a required field. So you click on the link, and it'll bring up the document. What I always advise you do, because it's not very good when it's an online document, is just where it says edit in here. Click that and click open desktop app, and always then say open Word. There you go, and then it'll bring it up like this. Okay, so this is just an example. I will show you the documents that I've done. So if you look here, Okay, so this is 8 Fs, and we've got 8 Gs as well. So you are familiar with the main sheet here, the main feedback sheet. We've used this quite a lot in the assessment. So it's got the assessment title, it's got praise for those who've done really well, so do check and put credits in, and those who've got LOCs will get awarded that as well. It's got the main misconceptions. The main areas to improve for both classes was to make sure you're using historical factors, so to use your point and link, and also we've not talked about this loads, but it's a way to assess significance. So, you know, and particularly with the relationship between Africa and Europe, we're considering whether or not this was a remarkable event and did it result in change. So some of the consequences result in change, like the development of the slave trade. The spelling was fine because obviously you're using Word documents, but just make sure nouns need to use a capital letter, e.g. John Blank. So what you've got is you've got a model paragraph as well. So for 8G it's Ishak and Adriana for 8F. Do read those. I'm not going to read through them now, but the reason why they're model paragraphs is because they follow the petal structure. They've got excellent knowledge, they've got really good analysis, and they're using factors as well. So here you'll see your directed improvement task that you have to do, but what I've done is I've placed it in this document here. So here you can actually physically see what exactly is it you need to use. Okay, so that'll give you the task that is on your Microsoft form. Some of you will say use specific evidence, and I've said use the knowledge grid. Well, attached to the document is a knowledge grid based on everything we've covered, from African kingdoms to the European view of Africa, African migration integration, and the development of the slave trade. So you can use this to help you with your task. Okay, so do use that. That's been made for you. If your task says use the gap fill paragraph, that means that you didn't submit enough or you didn't submit anything, and it says here to write another write the petal paragraph using the gap fill. That you will find on the actual form, which is here. So what you can do is you can just copy and paste this into the box here, and then just take out the words and use the word fill that are here and write in the correct words. Okay, so if you didn't write the assessment, I expect you to do that, and that clearly states that on the Word document there as well. Okay, and that's all you need to do. That's your feedback task. So once you've watched the video and once you've done the feedback task, which should take about 10 minutes, it's about 25 minutes in total for the entire lesson, or maybe a little bit less. And that's your feedback done. And I will read through them and give you a mark out of 5 based on the quality of your feedback. So make sure you click the link. Yeah, I'll make sure the document is uploaded there, the correct document, and then you're good to go. So that'll be set on Monday for you. It's due for Friday, so we're going to give you a few days to do it in order for you to get ready for your return back to school. Okay, hope that was clear. See you soon.